Yeah, it's time to impeach the congressman who won't impeach Trump. For more than a year and a half, the left has been trapped in the tightening grip of Trump Derangement Syndrome. It's a fun term, but does it reflect a real psychological issue? More and more psychologists say they're seeing the symptoms, specifically an overpowering fear that President Trump represents the end of the world. I gather this started with a Canadian Broadcasting Corporation survey, NELL DALY. You're a psychotherapist. Do you think Trump stress, Trump derangement is a real syndrome?
No, absolutely not. And actually, it didn't just start with the Trump administration. So any kind of derangement syndrome, when we've been talking about presidents, it started during the Bush administration. Yep. People said that people had Obama derangement syndrome, and now they're saying that people have Trump derangement syndrome. So it's just a way of discrediting anybody who disagrees with you, essentially.
But let's break that down, because I remember the Bush derangement syndrome. I remember saying to someone at the time, basically George W. Bush, he was a very moderate Republican. He loved Mexicans, for example, unlike the present president. 90% of the time he was like Tony Blair with a ranch, and yet people convinced themselves he was like the new Hitler. Now, here we have a guy who, in some sense, is an even more untypical doctrinaire conservative. He doesn't care about transgender bathrooms. He doesn't care about race. A lot of his family are Jewish, and yet he's apparently the new Nazi. He's anti-Semitic. He's racist. LGBTQ communities are cowering in fear from him. Well, what is it? Is it in the water? Is it fluoride? What's going on?
Well, I think where it starts to break down is that you need to trust your leader. You need to have faith in your leader as a human being, to have faith in their vision, to understand their vision. So where the dialogue breaks down is if you don't have faith in your leader, you don't even want to hear their vision. And people, I mean, Trump has been tweeting that his opponents, people who don't support his political views, have Trump derangement syndrome. So again, in any kind of argument that you're having with somebody, it shuts off the argument completely if you tell the other side that they're crazy.
No, just to be clear on that, Nell. Yes. So you're saying that by the president accusing the naysayers of having Trump derangement syndrome, he's actually given them it.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, this is just a term. I don't think he's necessarily. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the president's thinking, but whether I mean, it sounds like when he's tweeting these things, he is diagnosing an entire population of people. But again, this doesn't just happen from Trump, right? Again, this goes back to the Bush administration. This goes back to people who disagreed with Obama.
Let me ask you about a point you just made. I thought that was interesting when you said you have to have faith in your leader, as it were. This is a citizen republic where it chooses one of its own citizens to be the leader. That's why you got rid of George III. Now, there was a guy, because you didn't have faith in him. He's like walking around with crowns, powdered wigs, and you said, no, we're just going to have a citizen representative. Why can't, if you disagree with the president, why can't you just take the view that he's just some bloke in the office for a couple of years and the pendulum will swing and some other guy will be in there? In other words, why let it ruin your life?
It's a good point, and some people do take that position. Not everybody who has come to me or sits in my office is upset about the current president, but there are a lot of people who are. So individuals handle it differently. But the point is that to show that you're an evolved person, a highly intelligent person, is open to intelligent, nuanced debate.
Right.
And in our culture now, we've stopped having those intelligent, nuanced debates, in part because we stop listening when we're told that we're crazy to have a difference of opinion from the person that we're discussing anything with.
Yeah, but it's not the president who drives someone to climb halfway up the Statue of Liberty and start going bananas, is it?
I think that there are people who would disagree with you. And I think that there are people who would disagree with you that that's necessarily a banana way of protesting.
Okay, well, I'll see you up there. I don't know whether I'll make it to the top, but I'll get 2/3 of the way. See you up there, Nell.
Okay.
Thanks very much.